What are the
Yeah.
biggest lies being told about the story right now?
I think the first one is that they tried so Bricks and Minifigs' main narrative right now is, "We tried to give Brian his Legos back. Brian just didn't want 'em back. Like, we tried to give him the inventory list and show all this, but he didn't want it." And in my 3rd video, I have that footage of them saying that. I think he said it on every single podcast he's been on, every single news station he's been on. He said it every public appearance he's been on so far, which is, like, probably at least, like, 6 or 7 at this point. That's the main narrative they're saying. And then in my video, it just cuts straight to their, like, email thread, and Brian's like, "Can I please have my stuff back?" And they're like like, "We have no obligation to ever give you your Legos back. This matter's closed." And he's like, "Well, like, can I please have them back?" They're like, "Nope, we're not giving them back to you. Like, you are not getting the Legos." And then they go on Fox News and they're like, "We tried to give him his stuff back, but Brian was the one that didn't want it." It's like, well, like, obviously, like, I don't know. It's just there's evidence, and then there's what Bricks and Minifigs is saying. The two things just don't match.
Is anyone believing Bricks and Minifigs?
No, because they have no evidence. If they would provide evidence, then maybe people would believe them, but they can't because it's everything they're
So
saying
even
is
on
a
like
lie.
the news stations and stuff, is there any pushback, or are they just like going with it?
The news stations are kind of just going with it. They're kind of just like, uh-huh, okay. Like, if you say so, okay. Because I think the news stations don't really know the story that well, and they don't really, they're kind of just trying to, like, hear his side, which is good for news stations to do, because if they pushed back,
Yeah.
then Bricks and Minifigs would be like, oh, they're pushing back. Okay, this is a hit piece on us. Let's not do any more. So it's good what they're doing, because they're getting them to talk. So I'm all for it. Like, they're not pushing back.
How do you balance your videos with like escalating things? Because it seems like sometimes you'll do something and it just escalates the situation instead of, settles it, calms it down.
I don't know. I always start with the calm thing, and then I feel like you're right. I'm very strategic when it comes to, I think. So, like, first I went in, very politely asked him, like, "Hey, one of my friends has his Legos in your store. It's like a big Star Wars collection." She's like, "Get out right now." So I always let them, like, ask. It's
Was
like
that your first interaction with her?
yeah. And then within literally 15 seconds, she's like, "Get out. I'm being harassed." I'm like, "Well, I'm not, like, harassing you. I just politely asked." But it's like a game of chess, like, I'll take, like, a defense, I'll let them make, like, a stupid move, and then I'll make a stupider move, and
Yeah.
I try to, like, match their energy. So, uh, I'll come in, like, calm, and then if they, like, I'll start in calm. If they bring it up to here, then I'll match them here, and if they bring it up to here, I'll match them here. So I feel like I don't ever escalate something more than their, like, I just try and, like, bring my side to match their side, because otherwise they'll win, so
What do you think is the most realistic outcome?
I think, like I said, I really think Bricks and Minifigs is not going to apologize. I think the police department might apologize. I feel like they have more to lose, I think the police department might actually kind of, like, make things right, because it's like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like the police might make things right, but I think the Bricks and Minifigs, I think they're so stubborn that they'll never admit they're wrong, and they'll just destroy their company, and all the franchises will have to figure out a way to save them somehow.
I'm also curious, because of the virality of this entire story, do you think in the future, when this is kind of wrapped up, do you think that companies out there are just going to shut down as soon as they see you approaching?
Well, they shouldn't, because, like, I feel like, it's like, I don't know.
Like, is that going to make it harder for you? Because now a lot of people have seen your face, and as soon as you
it's
walk
not going to
in,
make it harder.
it's-
No, it's going to be easier, because now I have, like, more resources, more people behind me. If anything, it just makes it easier. But because I can always just, like, send someone in on my behalf. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be me going in. I can just send someone else in that they don't recognize. So that's not a problem at all. But yeah, if they see me come in, just shut down. I don't know. That would be good, I guess. Because ultimately the goal. I always say, like every single video shoot I've ever done, I always tell everyone involved, like, our first priority is to have fun and make sure, like, we accomplish our goal. The second priority is uh, to get the footage, and, like, to tell a cool story. But that's never the first priority. It's like what we said in slacklining. Like, in slacklining, I would always say, first priority is have fun. Second priority is look good doing it. And then third priority is be safe, So that's, like, my checklist. So the first one is have fun, like, and part of having fun is, like, accomplish our goal, so, like, get the Legos back in this example. That's our first priority. Second priority is, okay, like, let's film this and, like, tell a cool story, and make it good for the audience. And I guess the third priority then is be safe and don't get in trouble. But I tell every single person we film with those 3 rules. Like that's our priority checklist.
What's your advice for other people who want to follow in your footsteps?
Oh, that's a great question. I think my main piece of advice is I'm not really like naturally talented at anything, but I just try really hard and I don't take no for an answer. So I think that's probably the best advice is, I think a lot of people don't do things because they're like, oh, well, I'm not as talented as him, or I'm not as good at like talking, or I'm not as creative as him. But it's like, I don't think I'm like naturally creative or anything. It's just, I just try really, really, really hard and I don't stop until I accomplish my goal. So if that's your mentality, you're going to be successful, and like all my friends that are successful and not successful, I've never seen someone try really hard at something and not give up and not be successful. The only time people are not successful is when they end up giving up. So as long as you just want it bad enough, then you'll achieve whatever you want in life, Like I sucked at balance. Like I remember my first time on a slackline, I was with 10 of my friends and I was the worst one in my friend group. And like out of every single person, I was naturally the least gifted person at slacklining. But I just tried harder than all my friends, and I actually ended up becoming like the best in America at slacklining. And now people see me and they're like, "Oh, I wish I was born with as good of balance as you." And it's like, if only they knew that I was like had the worst balance, when I first started. So people will just they'll see someone who's talented and skillful and just write that off as, "Oh, they were born that way," And when really it's like, no, literally I was born not that way. I just tried harder than everyone else, and that's the only difference that separates me from other people is I just try harder.
Now, I gotta say, one thing that I've noticed by talking to a lot of entrepreneurs is that all of them want to use AI, but they don't know how it'll actually work inside their business. Like, it's one thing to use AI to write an email, but it's another to have it handle incoming calls, set appointments, answer questions, and talk to customers in real time.
And that's where today's sponsor, 11 Agents by 11 Labs, comes in. It's a platform that lets businesses build real-time AI voice agents for sales, support, operations, inbound calls, and more.
What's really impressive is just how fast it is to set up. You could launch voice agents in minutes, and they could speak in over 70 languages. Here's an example.
¿Podrías decirme qué tipo de ayuda necesitas?
It also works with tools businesses already use like Salesforce, HubSpot, Zendesk, Google Calendar, and Twilio. So instead of having to change up your entire workflow, it fits right into the systems that you already have.
And you could train these agents using your own knowledge base, SOPs, and policies. That way, the responses seem consistent within your business instead of just sounding generic.
Plus, with Expressive Mode, they give you way more control over the tone and delivery, so the conversations sound way more natural and human.
So try out 11 Agents by going to 11labs.io/icedcoffeehour to get started today for free. Again, that link is down below in the description. Thank you so much. Now let's get back to the episode.